Look, I don't want to freak you out, but AI is coming for jobs, and yours might be next. But the good news is there are things you can do to protect yourself, and that's exactly what I want to speak to you about in this video. Think of me like a friend, giving you a little bit of a heads up before it's too late. Here's what's happening. Jobs based on routine, predictability, and maybe some of those check the box exercises, those are already disappearing. So the truth is, if your job looks like a bit of a process map, chances are AI is going to step in. But here's the part that I want you to hear, the super exciting part. This shakeup is actually shifting us away from task-based work and into the work that actually matters, the deeply human side of work. So if you make the shift, you become the person that people or companies don't just keep, but they actually fight to keep. And if this sounds like a big promise, stick with me, because I'm about to share 5 simple things that you can do to make sure that you do not get replaced by AI. And tip 3 is honestly something that people are not speaking enough about and stepping fully into. Okay, let's jump in. The first thing you need to do is stop pretending that AI is a fad. And yes, I get it. It feels easy to kind of just sit there, roll your eyes and think, oh my gosh, this is just another tech trend. It's going to blow over. But here's what I want you to know. AI is literally baked into everything you do. Your email, your phone, your social feeds. Trust me, this isn't hype anymore. It's here and it is moving at lightning speed. Ignoring it is basically like leaving your front door open in the middle of a thunderstorm. Okay, so here's how to get your head out of the sand. Read some books. I highly recommend Scary Smart by Mo Gaudat. It's a wake-up call that you'll get fast. Then listen to some podcasts that talk not just about the tech side of AI, but the human side, the how it's impacting work. Then I recommend following some people who are not just throwing a whole bunch of buzzwords out there, but that are literally using AI to make their work better, to make the workplace better. And of course, I'm going to link the book, some podcasts I recommend, and some people I recommend, all in the description. So you can go and grab those there. And hey, if you are in HR or you look after people in your function, I just recorded a full series on what HR actually needs to know about AI, and I'll link it here. And then, of course, just dabble, just start. Download that app, start asking it for help, whether it's rewriting an email or analyzing an article, and hey, maybe even making your sentences longer with some em dashes if that's your vibe. But the point is, don't wait, just start. Now, if that felt obvious, good, because we are about to go into step 2, which is where it gets a little bit personal and maybe you might feel a little bit uncomfortable. The second thing you should do is find out whether your job is in the replaceable zone. And here's a simple way how you can know this. If the bulk of your job can be broken down into repeatable or patterns or processes, then yes, AI is going to take a large chunk of that. And it's probably already doing it faster, cheaper, and probably with much fewer coffee breaks. So what kind of jobs does this actually mean? Let's get a little bit real here. So if you are within learning and development, instructional design. Yes, I know. Don't come after me. Don't put the hate comments because I will explain what I mean. So if your job is still based on cranking out e-learning modules or putting slide decks together, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but AI can already do that, and it can do it in minutes. But this doesn't mean that you're out. This just means you need to reframe the value that you bring. Then, of course, we have data-heavy roles like analysts and accountants. Anything where the main output is crunching numbers, producing reports, or putting out the same output over and over in a repeatable fashion, that is where AI shines. Then the third one is actually lawyers and compliance folks. Yep, even you. Drafting contracts, reviewing case laws, putting out compliance training. AI can honestly handle huge chunks of this work. Then, of course, comes the content-heavy roles: marketing, communications, and even journalism. If you are writing predictable copy, AI is hot on your heels. And as you can see, I'm not just talking about junior roles. Even mid to senior level roles are at risk. It's all the roles that lean too heavily on repeatable and predictable tasks. Those are all in the danger zone. But here's the thing, and just breathe a sigh of relief. Being in the danger zone doesn't mean that you are doomed. It just means that you need to pivot, and quickly. And in fact, in my very next video, I am going to break down the 4 roles that AI is replacing fastest. And if you're in that zone, what you can do about it. But for now, I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. How much of your role is predictable and how much of your role is deeply human? And if you're already feeling a little bit nervous, great. That means you're awake, because tip 3 is where we start to form that safety net. Let's talk about how to make yourself irreplaceable. And this is, of course, tip 3, learn the skills AI cannot replace. And this is the widely known secret. Your job security is not linked to the tasks you do. It is linked to the value you provide. And this value is going to be solidly linked into what AI cannot do. And spoiler alert, these are the deeply human skills. According to the World Economic Forum, of course, tech skills like big data, cybersecurity, and of course AI, those are all on the rise, but right alongside them are those human skills. Things like critical thinking, talent management, creativity, and we're going to get a little bit into them now. Things like creative thinking, because honestly, AI can remix things, but it cannot truly create from scratch. Resilience, flexibility, and agility, the ability to bounce back, shift gears, and adapt, in no way machines can. Curiosity and lifelong learning, staying open, asking questions, experimenting, instead of just repeating what's already been done. Leadership and social influence, inspiring people, winning hearts and minds, moving a group towards a vision. And for all of my folks in learning and development, yes, talent management is listed as one of the top skills growing. So developing others, coaching, and bringing out the best in people. And then motivation and self-awareness, knowing yourself, managing your energy, and showing up with intention. These are the skills that the WEF predict are only going to grow in demand all the way through to 2030. And guess what? AI cannot touch them. So if you are in learning and development, this should become your bread and butter. Stop worrying about whether Storyline or Rise or a chatbot can do an e-learning module in seconds. That is no longer your differentiator. Your edge is going to be your ability to influence leadership, to to lead people through change, and honestly, to make learning stick in this messy, superhuman context. That is where your safety net is. And I know it can feel super overwhelming on where to focus first. And so I've put together a very simple guide, AI proof skills checklist. It's linked below, totally free. Grab it. It's literally like a survival kit in the storm. And if you thought tip 3 sounded powerful, we are going to step into tip 4, which completely shifts the fear of AI on its head. Okay, tip 4, reframe AI as a teammate and not as a threat. Here's what I see most people getting wrong. They either see AI as a threat, like it's going to take over their job, or they see it as a tool to simply redo the same old stuff a little bit faster. But I want to give you a different perspective. Think of AI as your teammate, a brilliant colleague who's going to help shift your thinking, expand your perspective, and push you to be sharper. And here's what I mean. If you are asking AI to do what you already know how to do, you're kind of missing the whole point. And again, think of it like that brilliant colleague. It's like going to that person and asking them to retype your notes. But instead, you should be asking them to show you things that you don't quite see yet or that you haven't thought about yet. Because the real magic of AI lies when you can expand your perspective, push back on your blind spots, and honestly, just make your ideas stronger. So instead of just asking it to write me a training outline, try and use one of these 3 prompts next. Challenge me. Here's my draft idea. Tell me what's weak, what's unclear, and where someone might push back. Number 2, broaden me. Who else has solved this problem differently? Summarize 3 approaches I might not have considered. And 3, pressure test me. Play devil's advocate against this plan. Where could it fail? What risks am I not seeing? So, do you see the difference? You're not using AI to replace you. You are basically using it as a sparring partner. It is there to push your thinking further than you could ever do on your own. And here's where it gets super interesting, because when you show your boss, your colleague, a client, your work that has already been challenged and refined, they actually start seeing you as the strategist, the decision maker, that human in the loop. And that is where you become irreplaceable. You didn't use AI to do your job. You used AI to make you sharper. And don't zone out just yet, because tip 5, this is the differentiator. This is going to be the difference between the people who thrive and the people who get left behind. Tip 5 is to start now. Seriously. Because here's the tough love you didn't ask for. Waiting 6 months to see how this whole thing lands could cost you years. AI is not slowing down. So the people who build their skills now will be ahead of the others who will spend a long time scrambling just to catch up. And I don't want you thinking, well, I've done nothing, so I'm already behind. No. We are still at the starting gates, but it is time to run because you have a clear lane in front of you. All right, and here's what that actually looks like. Tiny steps. Step 1, pick one AI tool. ChatGPT, Cloud, Gemini, or Claude, Gemini, whatever. And use it once this week for something small. Draft an email, summarize an article, brainstorm ideas. It doesn't matter, just try it. And then step 2, pick one human skill to strengthen. Maybe it's resilience, maybe influence, maybe creative thinking, and practice it deliberately. So, for example, in your next meeting, instead of just giving an answer, ask a question that makes people think. That's you building curiosity and influence in real time. That's it. 2 tiny steps. Play with the tech and flex those human skills. And if you do this, you will be miles ahead of the people still stuck in the wait and see zone. Because here's the real difference. The people who start now will be the people who no one wants to lose. Everyone else, replaceable. So if you have been nodding along, great. This is your wake-up call. If you're sitting there feeling a little bit nervous, even better, because then I know you've got it in you to really take action. Because honestly, the future will belong to the people who take action and not the ones who wait. And listen, I am not telling you all of this to scare you. I am telling you this because I genuinely care. The last thing I want is for you to wake up one day, realize you have been blindsided and left behind while everyone else was quietly getting ready. Think about it. Every major shift in recent history, like the internet, social media, even smartphones, the people who got ahead were those who leaned in quickly. Everyone else scrambling to catch up literally for years. And AI is absolutely no different. The people who jump in now will be the people who everyone else is running after in the very near future. And seriously, I want that person to be you. So here's your first step. Grab the AI-proof skills checklist. Again, it's linked below, totally free. And it's just a guide on building the skills that AI cannot replace. Again, it's your personal survival kit in this AI storm. And step 2 is do not miss the rest of this series. So seriously, just subscribe. You've got nothing to lose. But we are going to get brutally honest about the roles AI is killing first and what to do if yours is on that list. And if you're one of those early adopters and you're watching this before the next video is even ready, I highly recommend jumping into the series that I did with my brother, who at that time was a principal at AWS, working with AI every single day, working with CEOs of the Forbes 50. So he has a frontline seat of the decisions CEOs are making within this AI integrated world. So I highly recommend that playlist. It is called What Human Resources Actually Need to Know About AI. So yeah, spend time on that. It is super valuable. And in closing, yes, AI is coming for jobs. If you have heard otherwise, you have been lied to. But yours does not have to be on the chopping block. You now have 5 ways to protect yourself so that you not only survive in this AI integrated world, but even thrive. Because the future does not belong to people who are going to wait around and hope for the best. The future is going to belong to those who act now, start now, and build the skills that AI cannot touch. All right, I will see you in the next video.